Just include surveillance, disease surveillance activities, which has to do with checking of travelers going out and coming in. And we also have what we call mitigation. Mitigation in the sense that if disease occur at one side, we have to contain that disease so as it will not spread to the other side. And on the basis of this presentation, I want us to believe that there is no how trading activity can go on without talking about health-related issues, because human beings involved in the movement of goods and services from one point to the other. And so, disease spread from one point to the other. And what are the medium, the environmental components that are responsible for the spreading of diseases? Number one include you and I, human being. Once disease affects one person, definitely, if that disease is not well or properly managed, another person can contact it. And so, animals can also involve in the spreading of infectious diseases. And that category of diseases, they are grouped under zoonotic diseases. The same thing happens food. When we are talking of cross-border trade, food item has to involve. You bring in spoiled food from another country to your country, and the people in your country feed on that food, there's bound to come out with what we call foodborne infection. The same thing happens, the air that you breathe in. If the air is polluted, you are bound to have airborne diseases. So, by this paper, when the research was made, the IMF, International Monetary Fund, let us understand that cross-border trade, they are small trading activities that is not well recorded in the statistical data of any nation. It's not that they are not recorded, but it is not all of them that was captured in the statistical data of all nations. And it can be described as an act of buying, selling, and exchange of commodity and services across the territorial boundary of two or more countries. What are the importance that can be derived from this cross-border trade? Because if there's no importance that we want to derive, we won't be here discussing issues bordering around the trans-border trade. Now, the custom that spoke earlier, let us understand that cross-border trade has to do with the legitimate. So I will restrict my presentation on the importance of the legitimate and trans-border trade. Number one, it serves as employment opportunity to many. Of course, where is the job in the town? Most of our school leavers, this is what they depend on. Number two is that it promotes nation economy. Yes, because it added to the economy of the nation and make goods and services available even to the remote area. You can't expect trailer load to get to harmless places. It is this small scale cross-border trade that can let the goods and services available in the remote area. Then it breaks bulk goods. goods comes through some quantity, very magnitude quantity, but through cross-border trade, these goods can be broken into smaller units and readily available for the final consumer. The second step in the presentation, I would like you to know the relationship between health and cross-border trade. Transborder transmission of infectious diseases. Yes, because people involved in moving goods and services from one country to another. Just like Baba has been explaining to us, that yesterday you are in Abuja, you made mention of Megatere, you made mention of Shikanda border. These are far places, and today is with us. The same thing happened. Someone who is incubating a certain disease can travel from here to Ghana and share the disease, unknowing to them, because they will not know, but they want to go and source for means of income. So along the way, he travels, he shares the disease, and people equally come down with the same symptom of that disease. Then another angle is unfitness of some of the items traded upon. Yes, WHO, the World Health Organization, recognizes this, that even this trading that we are talking about, there are some goods that is unfit for human consumption. Not that the good is not meant for human consumption, but when goods or certain commodity has gotten to a state of deterioration, it affects the health of the consumer. And another good example is the outbreak of anthrax. If you go through the news, you must have been hearing the outbreak of anthrax. And at that period, hide and skin is not expected to either come into the country or go out of the country. If customs say this hide and skin we should allow, to us in health, we believe it is dangerous to us in Nigeria. So if there is a conflict in that area, and for an ordinary person, we'll be seeing it that why is Fortet preventing customs from doing their work? Yes, it is their work because they want to gain revenue. But we are telling you that this thing at this period of time is dangerous if allowed into the country. These are the conflicting areas. Then the next one is transborder trader across the border, to submit themselves for health protocol. Yes, the immigration has rightly said that you have to submit yourself, because when you submit yourself, you are helping yourself, you are helping your family, and you are equally helping the general public. There was a period of time that a bus came from Côte d'Ivoire, and during implementation of the health protocol, we discovered that a young man in the vehicle was exhibiting or manifesting signs and symptoms of diseases. So when we take such person through the health protocol, we refer, and at the end, the result shows that the person is suffering. Is a kind of disease that spread rapidly among group of people. So by succeeding in that angle, we have succeeded in preventing many people from contacting such diseases. Then health requirements. Yes, transborder trader, it is their duty, it is their onus to find out what are the travel documents, or what are the documents that I need in order to engage in this trade or not, or what are the documents that are needed in order to involve in movement across the border. So we have documents that trader should come and procure from the imported services. And the name of the document is International Certificate of Vaccination and Prophylaxis. And before you can be issued that document, there's what we call travel vaccine. The travel vaccines, they are the yellow fever, they are the cerebral spinal meningitis, called CSM, and in some cases require oral polio. And the essence of this is that when you are immune against such disease, and the country you are going to, if there is an outbreak, you, the severity of that illness will not hit you, and you'll be protected. That is if you are properly vaccinated. But people have been jumping this aspect because in Nigeria and in some other places we have what we call forgery. Forgery is everywhere. Even your motor vehicle, they can forge it. Some people go to the extent of forging this certificate. This certificate is nothing. It doesn't give you the requirement that you need. It is the vaccination, it is the immunization that you receive that confer protection on you. So I would like your organization to advise the small scale trader, and within 1 hour they can get the document. Another document is medical screening certificate for food handlers, and this is a yearly program. All the food handler that is operating within the axis of the border, we bring them together on periodical basis. We have even local meeting with them. This is how you do, this is how your environment should be. And the aim and objective of this is to ensure that the border community, particularly the officers who patronize them, do not come down with foodborne infection. So if any trader on a small scale want to involve in the preparation of food for the border community, he should come to us. We will train such person, and at the same time take the sample of the blood, take the sample of the sputum. The sputum means excreta. Take the sample of the sputum means the cough. Yeah, the stool is the excreta. So we take it for laboratory for analysis. So I don't want to divulge this. This is an official secret. But some of these things that we have been doing, we have been seeing those who found wanting, and we equally take them through the protocol to make sure that they get well before commencing their operation. Then disinfection and fumigation certificate for second-hand article. Yes, it's very important. And you can see some of our cross-border small-scale trader, they go in there to buy second-hand clothes, to buy second-hand shoes, without knowing the health condition of the primary user, that is the first person who used it, or the last user. So they bring them into our country, and some of us, we are too careless, and when we get this item, I've seen someone who bought a shoe. Immediately he bought that shoe, he removed the one that he was wearing and started using the one that, yeah. So I called him, you are endangering yourself, because group of people that are affected with infectious disease, after they have who want to buy it without so we can do that. We can provide that service. We can disinfect. We know the type of chemical to use, and we know the type of advice to give to them, so that those things can be used, can be reused. Of course, in the law of custom, I don't think for now they accepted second-hand article into the country. but we still see them in our country. Are you getting it? So the next one is waiver. Waiver for repatriation of human remains. Yes, in some year past, before the advent of Ebola virus disease, there's nothing like waiver in Federal Ministry of Health. Only what we work upon on that time is to ask for the medical certificate of death. So once we see that, then we go through other document, we clear the corpse. But since the advent of Ebola virus disease, coupled with that of COVID-19, it is now an offense for any port health officer to release any dead body into the country or going out of the country without the submission of waiver, because the waiver can only be secured in two places in Nigeria, and it does not mean that you should travel to that place. Within your corridor, you can click to the site, and they will ask you questions, and when you answer those questions, the document that you need to submit, when they verify that document, when they call the source of that, when the incident has happened, you can secure your waiver. But we have seen some people after denying them at the point of entry there, they will go through the waterway and carry dead body across the waterway. But whatever area they pass is none of my business, but the needful we have denied them here. So we have been hearing rumor, but I have not caught one. So, and in this aspect, the Nigeria Custom too, they have made it as a special cargo. They are here, they can testify. In their system, when they want to enter the movement of such, they have to come to us to look for the waiver after the payment of that, because there are fees that they should pay to them, and we release. And when they want to enter, they come to us, and I don't have waiver. How would I defend that? So if anybody brought in such and we deny such person, he should not see it as a problem. Rather, such person should see it as a negligence on his own part, because he has not do the proper finding to know what and what it is required. But the business of the day, thank you. The business of the day, the two speakers have actually dwelled much on that, but I will just run through my point. The barrier to small scale cross-border trade. Number one is language barrier. We don't speak the same language. There are some people I will talk to from Benin side. You hear Masegbe. So all those things. They know what I'm saying, but because they don't want to comply with what I'm asking them, they will be using that excuses, Masegbe. So another one is different. Another one is differences in currency. Oga, today, 2,000, tomorrow, so all those things. Then the next one is ignorance on the part of the trader. Yes, ignorance. Have you find out what is entailed to do one thing or the other? I've seen someone who travel all the way from Lagos and he said he want to go and buy something. And when he bought those things, as he was coming, custom sees it, because he has not do the proper findings to know what and what it is entailed. Then on our own part too, we have the problem of multiple checkpoints. Yes, when you go through our corridor here, from here to Lagos, you see many checkpoints. Then bad attitude of some law enforcement agents. Yes, it is true. Like what Mr. Oga have said, after you have worked on them, don't mind the other ones. Go your way. And go your way is heading towards problem. So because nobody will just close his eyes and see that something you're supposed to work upon are just being allowed to go freely like that. Then bad attitude of the trader too. Yes, I will dwell on this, because some of the traders too, they conceal. you may declare that you are bringing in this water. The water may later be concealed with some other illegitimate item, like what Baba have said. I concur with you, because you say you will not sign way bill, and after your signature they will come and arrest you later in the same market. Then activity of the miscreant. Yes, the immigration dwell on it. Do you know that to the extent that some of these miscreants or tout, they have different agencies they claim. Some can say they are ported, some can say they are immigration, some can say they are DSS, and by the time of mentioning that to their victim, you know, fear will grip that victim, and so such person will be deprived of what is carrying, and from fire to from fry pan to fire, abi. So the last one is solution to small scale cross-border trade challenges. When we have problem, we must have at least way out. Number one, more information on the item to be traded upon. Let them find out. Let them find out. Maybe they are in the prohibition list of the custom. You don't know. And if it relates to items that can cause health-related issue, they should know. Then the next one is trader to be security conscious. Trader too, they should be security conscious. True. They should be security conscious. Then know your right. At times you may know your right, and you may not be able to defend that right. So they should be able to know their right, and at the same time defend their right. Then they should travel with valid documents. Travel with valid documents. On my aspect, I will say travel with valid international certificate of vaccination, because immigration have mentioned working in the border, they are inclusive, including the community people. They are on that platform. Then we also have cross-border disease surveillance activities, management activities, health-related issue. So on this note, I have a quote as I escaped it from Billy Graham. I will just paraphrase it. The quote says, "Health is wealth. If wealth is lost, nothing is lost. But if health is lost, all things are lost." Thank you very much.
Please, apart from traders from Benin and Nigeria, which other agencies